remembering those who died while fighting for our freedom. Good evening, I'm Kim Chapman.
And I'm Josh Rowe. That's what Memorial Day is all about. Millions of service members go overseas not knowing they will ever make it back home.
For one Eastern Korean War veteran, that was the fate he was faced with every day. News Channel 9's Alyssa Sprado joins us now with his story. Alyssa.
Kim and Josh, the Department of Defense estimates 33,000 soldiers lost their lives in the Korean War. 81-year-old Lebron Foot was one of the lucky ones who survived. He remembers the day like it was yesterday.
We sat there and shot day and night, killing these Chinese.
It was November 1950. Lebron Foot just turned 18 when he was sent overseas for the Korean War. He'd only been in the Army less than a year.
The North Koreans had done pushed everything back from North Korea from the 30th parallel all the way back to Pusan.
With his platoon, Foot and 30 other men trekked 300 miles in hostile territory. Once they reached Pyongyang, North Korea, the fighting began.
The Chinese didn't have no guns, just had a few guns, and what they done, we kill a man that had a gun, the next man behind him picked the gun up and shot at us.
But for Foot, he says it was an experience he never thought he'd have the chance to witness.
If you had a gun, you shoot to kill. You don't. If you got a gun, if you got it loaded, it's made the one thing is to kill. And that's what I always had in my mind. If I had a gun in my hand, that I was just as good as the man down the road that was coming after me.
Foot remembers the day 3 years later in 1953 when all sides signed an agreement and the fighting finally ended. But even though it's been more than 60 years.
The time I was in Korea, the things I done in Korea, I don't forget it. You don't forget it. It's burnt in your mind.
The Korean War finally came to a close on July 27, 1953, when all parties signed an agreement. That armistice, according to the U.S. Department of State, resulted in a new border near the 38th parallel as a demarcation line between North and South Korea.